Peace, and this is our in-depth study of the book of Revelations. We're going to begin with an intro to the book of Revelations, and what we're going to do is we're going to study line upon line, verse upon verse, and go through the entirety of the book. Jesus gave a specific blessing to not taking out any word from this book. So we're going to go over every single word in this book and give an in-depth study. The first thing that I want you to understand, though, is that this is a multi-leveled book. Jesus identifies himself in this book as he who is, was, and is to come. So he's multifaceted in this book. John, when he saw him as a jasper and a sardine stone. These are multifaceted stones, and they're also stones that have a sense of depth and character to them. These stones give different appearances based upon the perspective. They're multifaceted, and they also have depth and character to them. And Jesus has a depth and character to him. He's seen as he who walks in the midst of the seven churches. He's seen as the Lamb. He's seen as he who sits upon the throne. He's also seen as the conquering king. Jesus presents himself in this book as a multifaceted God, and he wants you to see yourself as a multifaceted individual. In many verses, we see that there are eyes that encompass the throne. There are eyes on the Lamb. There are also eyes in the living beast. And so these eyes represent the spirits of the saints. And these spirits, or rather perspectives, because they're eyes, your spirit should be seeing from different perspectives of power, different perspectives of wealth, different perspectives of authority, different perspectives of assurance in your salvation. And so we want to go through this book and look at this book, but we want to understand that this book is not read as a story. Rather, it's a book of overlapping perspectives, one perspective upon another perspective. For instance, if you could see your skeletal system is one perspective of who you are. Then you have your muscular system. If your muscular system was to be laid on top of that, you would see another perspective of who you are. Then if you were able to see your circulatory system and your veins and your glands, you would see another system overlaid of who you were. And this is all completely who you are, but it's who you are from another perspective. In this same way, we are able to see Jesus in this book from different perspectives. This is not going to be a read through book. Rather, this is a book that overlaps itself multiple times. And many times this book ends. This book is going to end from the standpoint of the church. It's going to end from the standpoint of the throne. It's going to end from the standpoint of judgment. But it's always going to be the same story repeating itself, simply overlapping or seen from multiple perspectives. That's the key to understanding this book. The key is in the first thing that Jesus says. He is he who is, was, and is to come. And all these things are happening simultaneously. And we have to become a multifaceted individual in order to receive the key to understanding this verse. You are not simply a spiritual being. You are a spiritual being. You are a physical being. You live socially. You live economically. You live emotionally. You live in multi-facets, on multi-tiers, in multi-dimensions in this one simple life that you have. It's a multilinear life. And Jesus is a multilinear God. And you must begin to understand him on many levels. There's levels to it. All right, peace, y'all.